Learning English can be challenging, but did you know that listening to stories is one of the most effective ways to improve your language skills? Research shows that stories help with vocabulary, pronunciation, comprehension, and even speaking fluency. In this video, we will explore why listening to stories accelerates your English learning and how you can use this method effectively. 1. Stories help you learn vocabulary in context. When you listen to stories, you're exposed to new words in real-life situations. Instead of memorizing long lists of words, you hear them in natural sentences, which helps you understand their meaning and usage. Studies in language acquisition suggest that context-based learning is much more effective than isolated memorization. For example, if you learn the word whisper from a vocabulary list, you might forget it quickly. But if you hear it in a sentence like, "She whispered a secret into her friend's ear," you will remember it much better. The story provides context, emotions, and a visual image that makes the words stick in your memory. 2. Stories improve your listening skills. Naturally, one of the biggest challenges for English learners is understanding native speakers. When people talk in real life, they don't speak like textbooks. They use connected speech, contractions, and natural intonations. Listening to stories helps you get used to this natural flow of English without feeling overwhelmed. According to linguistic research, listening to comprehensible input, language that is slightly above your current level, helps learners develop an ear for the language. This means that the more you listen to stories, the better you will recognize common phrases, sentence structures, and pronunciation patterns. Tip: start with adapted stories that match your level and gradually move to more complex ones. 3. Stories make learning enjoyable and engaging. Traditional learning methods, like grammar exercises or vocabulary drills, can feel boring and repetitive. But when you listen to a good story, you become emotionally involved. This emotional connection makes learning more enjoyable and increases motivation. Studies in educational psychology suggest that when learners enjoy the process, they retain information better. That's why children learn languages so quickly. They engage with stories, songs, and interactive activities that make learning fun. Tip: choose stories that interest you. Mysteries, fairy tales, adventure stories, or even biographies. Once you enjoy what you listen to, you will naturally want to learn more. 4. Stories help you think in English. One of the biggest hurdles for English learners is translating words in their head before speaking. This slows down fluency and makes conversations difficult. Listening to stories trains your brain to think in English because you are constantly processing words and phrases in a natural way. Research in neurolinguistics suggests that language learners need exposure to full sentences and ideas, not just individual words. This helps develop automatic language processing, which is essential for speaking fluently. Tip: try shadowing. Repeat sentences from the story right after the narrator. This improves pronunciation and fluency. 5. Stories teach you cultural and natural expressions. Language is more than just words. It includes idioms, expressions, and cultural references that textbooks often don't explain well. Stories provide real-life examples of how native speakers communicate, helping you sound more natural in conversations. For example, in a story, you might hear a phrase like, "It's raining cats and dogs." A dictionary might just tell you that it means heavy rain, but a story will show the phrase in action, making it easier to understand and remember. Tip: pay attention to common phrases and idioms in the stories you listen to, and try using them in your own speech. How to use stories effectively in your English learning. Now that we know why stories are powerful, here are some practical ways to use them. Start with audiobooks or adapted stories. Listen to stories at your level before moving to more advanced ones. Follow along with subtitles or text. Reading while listening helps you understand pronunciation and sentence structure. Repeat key sentences aloud. This improves pronunciation and speaking confidence. Listen to the same story multiple times. Each time, you will understand more details and new words. Discuss the story with a friend or teacher. Talking about the story helps reinforce what you learned. Conclusion: listening to stories is one of the best ways to learn English faster and more naturally. It helps with the vocabulary, comprehension, fluency, and even cultural understanding. The key is to find stories that interest you, listen actively, and practice speaking along with them. So, start today. Pick a story, listen carefully, and enjoy the journey of learning English. Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite story to listen to in English?